Hey everyone, it's Brittany Clues. This is week 2, working on Shalise's images. Let's get into it. I loved looking at her images this week. The images and the edits, let's just say. Really sharp, really professional. I'm really impressed, so I can't wait to get into it a little bit. Let's talk about these 2 images right here. First image, engagement shot, taken at 8:41 at night. So, you are in those last drops of sunset. Some of my absolute favorite times to take photos. Canon 5D Mark II, beautiful camera, even though I'm a Nikon lover. 85mm, my favorite lens. ISO 400, yay. F2.5, yay. 1/160. I love everything about those numbers except the 1/160. You are barely making it with my little rule for the lens. So in case you didn't see it on one of the videos, or if it wasn't on yours last week, my rule with the millimeter of the lens. Take the highest millimeter of the lens. In this case, you're shooting with a prime, so it doesn't matter. 85 millimeters. Double it. So that basically gets you to 85 doubled would be 170. So your shutter speed should not be less than 1/170. Well, that's technically not a shutter speed. So 160 would technically be a tad too slow. So you would need to do something to bump it up to 1/200. Now that something could be solved by a variety of things. You could increase your ISO. You could add exposure compensation, adding plus 0.03, plus 0.07. You could lower your f-stop a little bit, f2.2, f2. So those are the things. Another way you could do that, let's say you really didn't want to go higher than ISO 400 and you needed at least a 2.5 aperture. You weren't comfortable with anything lower than that. Throw on a different lens that's wider. That's going to allow more light to come into the lens. So, put on a 50 millimeter and you can go back to your 2.5 and your ISO 400, and then even if you're at 1/160, which I think you're going to be over that anyways, that's going to be more than enough light, because like a 50 millimeter, you double it, 1/100 is the lowest you'd want to go. So hope that makes sense. What do you love about this? You love her eyes in the image. You feel they're staring in your soul. You normally love color. You really like the way this turned out black and white. Feel like it makes the mood of the image a little bit more intense. You did notice some editing hair details you missed while posing. Trying hard to watch that after your critique. That's good. I'm so glad to hear that, because trust me, I used to make the most ridiculous mistakes all the time. Literally flies open on guys' jeans, the elastic bands for hair on girls' wrists, tags on shirts. Trust me, I've done it all. And I had somebody during a critique when I was starting pointed out to me, and then I was like, crap, I know how to solve that stuff now. So I think that that's just going to be a little bit of time. This is your first week in really looking at details. You give yourself 6 months and you're going to see every out of place hair, button, cell phone in a pocket, because your eyes will just be trained to look for that. So, the fact that you're even looking for it, I think is great, and just, it's only going to keep getting better and better. And then what's funny is, look back at your photos, a year ago and see all the details that you missed. And that's one thing I actually like to do. Sometimes go back to my old stuff, even if it's 6 months ago. I'm continually growing, as a photographer and an artist, and I appreciate that. I'm happy that I am. If I didn't see improvement all the time, that would worry me. So, I look back on stuff 6 months ago and sometimes think, oh, how did I miss that? So great job for looking. Anyways, let's keep getting to this. Beautiful image. Here we go. All the things I love about it. Love the pose, love the emotion, love the expression. If it's engagement, I love the fact that you see the ring. I feel like their clothing is really nice and tight. I feel like her hair is pretty. You've shot into the part. This is a really important thing. Anytime girls' hair is parted like this, you want the part going on the side away from you. You want to shoot into the part. If her hair was turned the other way, all of this hair would keep falling into your frame and it would block her face. So shoot into the part. This is the perfect way to shoot that. I like how you see a little bit of the boat, a little bit of the water. It's just enough. I can tell they're in a boat, but I don't have to see the whole thing. I think that's great. He's pulling me back into the photo this way. She's leaning this way. Great balance of this photo. I think it's just beautiful. I love your black and white edit. I like how you cropped them out a little bit. I love the way you took it. I probably wouldn't have even changed a single thing about the way that you shot this. I like, maybe get rid of this, just clone that out so it's all red. But I like seeing a little bit of the boat down here. But for a dramatic effect, you're right. I think your black and white is really pretty. But I think that this is a great image. So good job. So number 2, let me come back up here really fast. Senior, 706 at night, 17 to 40 millimeter lens. Cool, fun lens. ISO 200, f3.2, 1/2500. So I'm guessing maybe the only reason that you were at 3.2 is to try to darken it up a little bit, because when you got one person right there, I would want as much light as possible on her face. You really could have dropped her down to like f2.0, f2.2. I mean, she's not going to move anywhere. She's going to stand right there. Obviously, you have a ton of fill light that's coming over here, so maybe you're trying to darken up the image a little bit. I love her expression. I like how she's turned this way, but her face is pulling me back. You've got that slight, off of the center. I like that. Not total rule of thirds, but it is off center, so I like that. Some environmental framing balance you have here. Some cool leading lines with the trees in the background. I really like that. So now for your edit. Love what you've done with the edit. Obviously, this is meant to be really blown out and artistic. These trees would tend to pick up blue. So if you took blue out of those, congratulations, good job. The only thing I don't like in the background, this is not a tree, it's just a stump, and I feel like it's kind of weird. And when you have all of this stuff over here, just clone that out. Anything that isn't something fully grown, I take out. Little potholes, sprinklers, stumps, just get rid of them. I think that they're more eyesores than they are anything. I love the creaminess and everything that you did on her face. I think in camera, again, depending on what you were doing, if it was just so bright that you needed to darken it, maybe that's why you went to f3.2. But, you can also, I think you did a great job brightening it, so I'm not even going to give you any advice. You obviously know what you're doing when it comes to that, but I love it. It's really moody. It's really contrasty. She actually seems pretty bright and clear and crisp, and the background seems really, really contrasty. So I was trying to make my girls match my background, or my background match my girls or my families or whatever they are. So she feels so light and airy and crisp. I almost wish the background was just a little bit lighter and airier. So, that would be really my only critique for this, but just beautiful job. I barely can even edit or critique you on this photo because I want to put this photo up in my house. I think this is gorgeous. I don't even know what to say. I don't even think I can critique it. It's just amazing. All right, let's do it. It's great exposed, nice flat light, beautiful background. Look at all of these lines and this architecture. You couldn't have lined this up better yourself. You've got this tree over here for balance, these, them, and then your edit. It's clean, it's clear, it's crisp, it's beautiful. I feel like the sun is like literally blazing out of the church and making the sky all blue, and they look so in love, and I love that I don't even see their faces. I love that I don't see blue in the dress. It's great. The only thing I could say is I maybe would just take this little tiny just pull out. I don't know if it's like a light or a camera, but I don't think it really adds a ton. Not really anything problem leaving it. I just think if it's out, this would all look so clean, and this, but girl, that is all I can say about this image. This is gorgeous. They need to blow this up into like a 30 by 46 in their home. This is beautiful. I'm so proud of you. Good job. I can't wait to see what you have next week. Ciao.